In a magical green meadow, nestled among whispering blades of grass, lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Now, you might think all fireflies love the night, zipping around like little stars. But not Flicker. Oh no! Flicker was afraid of the dark. He carried a secret worry deep inside that. The shadows weren't just empty spaces, but were filled with scary, unknown things. While his friends danced and played across the night sky, Flicker stayed close to the things that glowed the brightest moonbeams, the biggest, shiniest mushrooms. That was his comfort zone. His best friend, a cheerful and daring firefly named Sparkle, just couldn't understand it. Her own light twinkled with confidence as she'd say, "Oh, Flicker, there's nothing to be scared of. The dark is just like a big, soft blanket wrapping up the world for a good night's sleep." She tried to coax him into a game of shadow tag or a flight into the deeper parts of the woods, but Flicker could never quite believe her. His fear was a heavy cloak he couldn't seem to shake off. He preferred the safety of the known, the comfort of the light, even if it meant missing out on some of the fun. One particularly beautiful evening, the air was warm and the stars were just beginning to pop out. The fireflies were in the middle of a lively game of tag, their lights blinking on and off as they darted between flowers and tall grass. Flicker was playing, but cautiously staying near the edge where the moonlight fell thickest. Suddenly, without any warning, a powerful gust of wind roared through the meadow. It was a mighty, howling wind that whistled and swirled, and in one swift, shocking moment, it blew out every single firefly's light. The entire meadow was plunged into an inky, absolute darkness, all except for one tiny, flickering glow. It was Flicker. He had been hiding behind a large, glistening dewdrop, and somehow his little light had survived the blast. As quickly as it had arrived, the wind vanished, leaving behind a profound and unnerving silence. Flicker was trembling. This was his worst nightmare come true. He was completely surrounded by the vast, suffocating darkness he had always feared. His little body shook, and he felt frozen to the spot. Then, through the silence, he heard a tiny, scared voice cry out, "Help! I can't see anything." It was Sparkle. Her confident twinkle was gone. Another voice, smaller and farther away, called out, "We're lost." Flicker realized with a jolt that all his friends were scattered across the meadow, their lights extinguished, lost and alone in the overwhelming dark. Flicker's heart felt like it was going to beat right out of his chest. He was terrified. Every instinct screamed at him to stay put, to huddle behind the dewdrop and cling to the safety of his own little glow. But then he heard Sparkle's voice again, and this time it was trembling with fear as she called his name. "Flicker, are you there? We need you." Hearing his best friend, the brave one, sound so scared and lost sparked something new inside of him. It was a feeling that began to push against his fear, something warm and strong. He remembered all the time Sparkle had been brave for him, how she always encouraged him and stood by him. Now she needed him. It was his turn to be the brave one. He took the deepest breath his little firefly body could possibly manage, closed his eyes for a second, and then flew out from behind the safety of the dewdrop. In the vast, absolute blackness, his light, which he had always considered so small and insignificant, seemed to shine like a brilliant, blazing star. "I'm coming," he called out, his voice surprisingly steady. He flew toward the sound of the first voice he'd heard. His beam of light cut a path right through the shadows he had once found so terrifying. There, huddled beneath a large leaf, was a little firefly, shaking with fright. "Follow my light," Flicker said, his voice now full of a newfound confidence. He didn't wait. He flew toward the next cry for help, and then the next. One by one, he found his lost friends. They gathered behind him, forming a little chain of hope, a tiny, moving constellation following his brave, bright light through the darkness. Finally, he found Sparkle. She was tangled in a delicate but sticky spider's web. Her light still completely out. She had struggled so much that she was exhausted. Flicker! You came, she whispered, relief flooding her voice. Flicker flew closer, carefully using his bright glow to illuminate the intricate strands of the web. Seeing the sticky threads clearly, Sparkle was able to wiggle and twist herself free. She was safe! With Sparkle now flying beside him and all the other fireflies trailing behind, Flicker led the way. He guided them all through the dark meadow, back to the giant willow tree they all called home. As they settled onto its familiar, drooping branches, something wonderful began to happen. One by one, their own lights started to flicker back on. First a faint glow, then a brighter one, until the entire willow tree was twinkling and sparkling like a tree decorated with thousands of diamonds. A huge cheer erupted from the little crowd of fireflies. They all cheered for Flicker, their hero. From that night forward, Flicker was a changed firefly. He was no longer afraid of the dark. He had flown directly into the heart of his greatest fear and had discovered something incredible, his own L. I was far more powerful than any darkness. He learned that true courage isn't about having no fear at all. True courage is about being afraid, being absolutely terrified, but doing what's right anyway, especially when the ones you love need you, and his light, which you once saw as small and weak, became a beacon of hope and bravery for every single creature in the meadow. He still enjoyed the glow of the moonbeams, but now he also loved to dance in the deepest shadows, knowing that his own light was always enough. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Flicker's adventure, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more stories just like this one. See you next time.